What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. My name is Andrew Heichman, and I'm the lead forecaster here at NWW116. So, for today's video, we'll be taking a look at the radar view as well as the satellite. And here's where things get interesting. We're going to take a look at the models as we do have a winter storm that we are expecting for the Northeast. So you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. We're expecting a pretty big cool down in terms of what is expected down the line. And we're expecting over 1 foot of snow to occur across bits of the Northeast. So you guys need to stay tuned for that. And at the end of the video, we'll take a look at the National Weather Service hazards. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alrighty guys, so for today's question of the day, I am wondering, what is your greatest childhood memory? Leave it down in the comments below and I just might heart your comment. But anyways guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. You guys are greatly appreciated and I appreciate all y'all's support. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the radar side of things. We actually do have quite a few things that's going on. We're going to go ahead and zoom into the upper northwest for now. We actually do have some rain showers across bits of Washington State, moving into northern Oregon, moving through bits of northern Idaho, moving into western parts of Montana. Now, there might be some upper level snow showers as you get to those colder temperatures, higher you go up. So we do move out, we do move up to the upper Midwest, where we actually do have a new clipper system that's starting to develop across bits of Minnesota, moving into Wisconsin. This will eventually track its way across Michigan, causing for a decent amount of snow to fall across the region, which we'll actually take a look at more when we look at the model. So we actually do have some more snow going across bits of North Dakota, kind of moving itself to the southeast, further down the line. So we do move up to the pretty much towards the northeast, the lower portion of the northeast for bits of Pennsylvania as well as New York State. We're actually seeing some snow showers across the region here. Now this does include bits of Pittsburgh. It's pretty much just east of Pittsburgh now, kind of moving towards Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, around in that region, generally moving to the southeast. So that's what we're dealing with in terms of the radar, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the satellite view and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of the current weather across the nation. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look at the satellite view in terms of things. Now you might be seeing kind of this weird slice going on across bits of the western country. This is actually because the sun has not fully risen yet, and kind of the satellite is kind of putting the western side into infrared mode. But generally, you might be able to see across bits of the southern country, it is relatively clear for the most part. This is actually due because we actually do have high pressure in place, which is leading to some really nice conditions, which, guys, today is probably going to be really nice for those areas. Maybe a little cold locally, but, for the most part, it's relatively clear. So that's a plus. We actually do have this ridging going on across bits of the southwest with all that high pressure that's in place, you can see here. Now, we do kind of follow the jet stream down. It does kind of dip down. We get a little bit of a ridging, a little bit of a troughing going on here across bits of the eastern country, especially towards the mid-Atlantic region, towards bits of Virginia, where we have this really sharp trough. This is your area of low pressure with the system that we're actually seeing occurring across bits of the northeast. We're actually seeing, on those snow showers that are occurring across those areas. This is actually associated with that, basically that trough that's going on. So, for the most part across the southern country, it is relatively clear. We do have some cloud covers across bits of the northern parts of the country, from the northeast through the Ohio Valley into the Midwest here. And we do have a little bit more cloud cover across the central plains, moving up to the upper northwest. So let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast models and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of these upcoming systems. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the models in terms of things. We're taking a look here at NAM first. This is basically your North American model. So it's a pretty high resolution model, but I thought we would go ahead and take a look at this and see what we're expecting here in the future. So we do have the high pressure in place across bits of the southwest. We've already seen that across through the satellite view. We do have that troughing across bits of the mid-Atlantic. Now, here's where things get interesting. So further down the line, we do get that new clipper that starts to develop, as actually we already seen here on the radar. This will move its way through Wisconsin, eventually moving itself into bits of Michigan, allowing for snowfall across bits of southwestern parts of Michigan, moving into pretty much the western parts of the state. Now, this will continue to track mostly eastward. This will actually cause some snow, according to this model, to fall across bits of, pretty much all of Michigan here, moving through the Ohio Valley through bits of central Ohio. So places such as Columbus, Ohio, you guys might see some snow with this system, but it's just a little clipper. In terms of crazy snowfall, is not really expected. So we do have high pressure placed across bits of the upper northwest. We do have some, we still have some rain showers across those regions. So further down the line, this snow will kind of start to break apart towards the northeast. We might get some snow across bits of western Pennsylvania as well as western parts of New York State. We do have some high pressure in place across the southeast, leading to some pretty nice conditions further down the line. So, and then of course this model, goes out further. But the further you do go out, the more inaccurate these models tend to get. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the accumulation factor in terms of the upcoming snowfall that this model has projected. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the same model. This is your North American model. However, we're taking a look here at the accumulation factor. So we do move further in time here. We're actually at 8 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and move to 8 o'clock. We do have those snow showers that are occurring across bits of the northeast, which actually might lead to some localized accumulation across bits of those areas. Now, this clipper system will drive itself to the southeast. We might get some snow to fall across bits of the Ohio Valley, eventually into bits of the upper Midwest. So we're actually dealing with maybe 3 to 5 inches across bits of Wisconsin, maybe 1 to 3 across bits of Michigan here, as well as maybe 1 to 3 across bits of central and northern parts of Ohio, according to this model. Now, I want to go ahead and say, do not take this model 100% seriously based off of what it is. Just get an idea of what we could expect with this clipper. So really, I wouldn't say any more than 5 inches. Maybe locally that could be a thing, but for the majority of everyone, according to this model, we're not expecting really any more than 5 inches for everyone. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the next model, and let's see what this model has to say about this upcoming winter system. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the next model. This is your HRRR. This is basically your high resolution rapid refresh model. So basically, this is showing kind of a similar scenario. However, there's some differences in terms of what this model has to say. So, the idea is still there. We do have some snow falling across bits of the upper Midwest, moving through the Ohio Valley and into more of the Northeast here, as you can see. Now, there's something a little bit different about this model. This is basically your, this one refreshes every single hour, but the latest one has something interesting to say right here. So we actually are expecting more than about 5 or 6 inches to occur across bits of northern Wisconsin, according to this model. But like I said, you can't take one model 100% seriously because you can obviously see there's a big difference between what these models have to say. So, the majority is still there. We're still seeing a lot of snowfall falling across bits of the upper Midwest, moving into the Ohio Valley. Now we might see, just kind of the same amount, maybe 1 to 3 across bits of Michigan, probably 1 to 3 across bits of Ohio as well, moving into more of Pennsylvania. But, guys, the majority is still there. We are still seeing that snow falling across that general area. So I want to go ahead and take a look here at the GFS model, and I want to go ahead and go over a few things with this model. So let's go and take a look at that. Alright guys, so we're taking a look here at the GFS model. This is basically your global forecasting system. This is an American model. However, this is more of a long-range model. Now, before we move on to the other stuff in terms of what this model says, I guess I'll just go ahead and take a look here at the snowfall total in terms of what this model has to say about the upcoming snow. Now, this will include this upcoming winter system that's expected to impact the Northeast. You guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. So this system is showing the same thing that the other models were. Basically, just snow falling across bits of the upper Midwest, moving down into the Ohio Valley, and maybe parts to the Northeast. Really no more than 5 inches expected. The majority of the models say that. Now, here's where things really get interesting. So you might notice we're actually starting to get some snow falling across bits of the northern, Great Plains here. This will actually track itself mostly eastward, causing some snow across bits of the upper Northeast. But wait till you see this. So we get another system that develops here. Look at this. We're seeing those snow totals really drive up above 12 inches across bits of eastern New York, bits of Massachusetts, southern bits of Vermont, pretty much central and southern parts of New Hampshire, as well into bits of Maine. This model in particular is showing near 20 inches to occur across bits of southern Maine into bits of New Hampshire. Now, of course, like I said, you can't take these 100% seriously, but just get an idea. Now, I want to go ahead and show you something that might be pretty interesting to you guys. So, we're going to take a look here at the same model. However, we're taking a look at the previous run before the latest. And let's go ahead and look for a trend here. So, we do still get this winter system that impacts the Northeast. And look, we're still seeing the chance for over 12 inches across bits of the Northeast for areas such as Pennsylvania, moving in through bits of Vermont and New Hampshire. So, kind of interesting. So the last two models have been agreeing of this winter system that's expected to impact the Northeast. Now, in terms of timing of when this system is expected to occur, we're probably going to see this start to fall across bits, probably December 6th through the 8th is whenever, the system is expected to impact the areas of the Northeast. So, this actually might go across the Ohio Valley in terms of, according to this model, throughout the 4th and the 5th across those areas. So, pretty much from the 4th all the way through the 8th, this system will be impacting the state. So, let's go ahead and take a look here at the other things in terms of the GFS model. I want to go ahead and mention these because there's kind of some more interesting things going on. Alright guys, so we're still taking a look here at the GFS model in terms of things. However, now we are taking a look at the surface temperature. So, across bits of the United States, this is for, maybe about an hour maybe an hour or two before I'm uploading this video. However, we are actually seeing here this freezing line across bits of the upper Midwest, moving through Ohio Valley and into the Northeast. So for the majority of the country, we're dealing around 40s and 50s in terms of temperatures. Of course, places such as, pretty much southern Texas, as well as bits of Florida, is exceeding this due to more tropical air. But here's the thing. Further down the line, we are actually expecting, this freezing point to kind of drive itself to the, pretty much the northern parts of Alabama and 2 bits of northern Georgia. They've already seen freezing temperatures this year. However, it is expected to freeze again tonight. So probably for early tomorrow morning, whenever the temperature is the coldest. So further down the line, we actually do get that new winter system that starts to develop. We're actually going to get more freezing temperatures driving its way across bits of the northern country, moving down into the southeast, in which actually more freezing temperatures are expected, according to this model, across bits of northern Alabama, as well as northern parts of Mississippi. So further down the line, we actually do get some more tropical air, more polar air, I should say. Huge difference there. But we're potentially see some, single digits across bits of the northern country, maybe even in the negatives across bits of the upper plain. So, this is just something we need to monitor because this is kind of far out. So there's definitely, a lot of factors that can still change because the more further you do go out in these models, the more inaccurate it gets. So I want to go ahead and take a look here at the temperature anomalies, and I want to show you guys what's going on in terms of that. It's kind of interesting in terms. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alrighty guys, so we're still taking a look here at the same model. However, we are now taking a look at these temperature anomalies. There's some pretty interesting things going on here. But first, let me explain to you how to read this. So basically, the areas in red showing basically that temperatures are more above average than this time of the year across the area that's selected. And of course, the opposite with the blue, basically just showing below average temperatures across the area selected. So let's go ahead and move on here. So this is basically off of data from 1981 all the way through 2010, basically just taking these statistical averages of what's the weather like across the nation for this time of the year. So right now we're actually dealing with much warmer temperatures across bits of the western coast. You can actually see here in all this red, and actually relatively more below average across bits of pretty much the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and the Southeast, excluding the Mid-Atlantic. You can actually see here towards the Mid-Atlantic region, it's actually a little bit more warmer than usual across some of those areas. So further down the line, we actually do get well below freezing, or sorry, not well below, potentially well below freezing across some areas, but more below your average temperature range for this part of the nation across the eastern side. However, the western is still pretty much above normal. So further down the line, we'll actually get some of that colder, below average temperatures actually kind of exiting. Still still relatively below across bits of the northeast here, but look at this, we're looking well above average temperatures across bits of the western country. So further down the line, we get that new winter system that comes in. We're actually seeing relatively, more cooler temperatures across bits of the southeast. However, for the most of the country, it's still relatively warmer. So further down the line, we actually do get this winter system that starts to drive its way in here. And look at this. We're kind of back to the same old thing. We're actually seeing relatively colder temperatures across the eastern side of the country. And we're still seeing, kind of warmer temperatures across bits of the western. However, across the northern parts of the country, we're seeing well below average temperatures across those areas. So I want to go ahead and touch on one more subject on this model, and after that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the weather service hazards. Alrighty guys, so we're still taking a look here at the GFS model, like I said. However, now we are taking a look at the 700 millibar to 400 millibar, basically your relative humidity. So you guys might be wondering what the heck I just said. So basically, this is taking, your moisture levels from your mid levels of the atmosphere to the upper levels of the atmosphere. The areas in the brown is showing dry air, which is likely leading to some nice conditions. And, kind of the bluish color is showing more saturated air, basically just more moisture-filled air with, high relative humidity. So I want to go ahead and explain to you what we're going on here. So this is for 7 o'clock p.m. today. You can see right here. Okay, so it's showing brown across bits of the, southern country, which is showing that there is drier air. Now, if we take a look here at the satellite view, you can actually see across the southern country, it's clear. Okay, so that's showing that there's less moisture, which is leading to less clouds. So this is kind of just a visual for you guys to kind of see what's going on in terms of that. So we do actually have some dry air across bits of the southern country here. We do have all that more moisture-filled air with that new Clipper system that we're seeing basically drive its way across bits of the upper Midwest into the Ohio Valley. Now, we actually are expecting to, pretty much remain relatively dry across bits of the southern country here. We might have some more moisture kind of moving its way in through Texas on the 2nd and 3rd, which actually might lead to some cloud cover. However, bits of the southeast is probably going to be seeing some relatively clear skies according to those relative humidity values. Now, we get this new system, that new winter system that's going to occur. We're going to see immense amounts of cloud cover across bits of the southeast, moving through the mid-Atlantic and into the northeast with that winter system we are expecting. Now, behind it, we're actually expecting some, relatively drier air, which will probably lead to some, nice and clear conditions once the system is passed. We move up to the upper northwest here with this kind of more blue area, basically just showing that there's another system that's going to be impacting the upper northwest, which is allowing for a lot of cloud cover to occur. I just kind of wanted to touch base on that just to kind of show you guys what we're expecting in terms of that. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I figured you guys might want to see that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look here at the National Weather Service hazards for the last segment of today's video. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the National Weather Service hazards in terms of things. So there's really not much going on across the nation. We actually do have some high wind watches across bits of the upper northwestern parts of Montana, showing that high winds are possible, so just stay alert for further warnings that might be needed. Now, in terms of things, we actually do have another set of high wind watches across southeastern parts of Wyoming, followed by a high wind warning across those upper elevations, right here, kind of in this tannish color. So basically the high wind watches means that, heavy winds might occur further down the line. So you basically just need to be paying attention for warnings. If you're in a warning, that means heavy winds are expected. I would recommend bringing anything that's loose inside until the storm's over, because you don't want your property going missing. So we actually do have some flood warnings across bits of the upper northwest here for bits of Washington state. There was a flood watch in effect, which is no longer in effect now for that region. We do have some dense fog advisories across bits of southern Texas for the coastal areas, through bits of central and southern Louisiana and southern parts of Mississippi. Alrighty guys, so that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this year. So if we can make that happen, that would be really amazing. And guys, I thank you all for all y'all support. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. And I will catch you guys in the next video.